life into something that you can never own.
Hello, Virgo. Here is your reading for the week of January 1st through about the 7th. I can't speak today. You're reading for January 1st through about the 7th. There we go. Take what works. What doesn't work just doesn't work. And let's see what the cards have to say for you. Okay. I need one card for my Virgos, please. One card for my Virgos. Okay. I need another card for my Virgos. And I need one more card for my Virgos, please. One more card for my Virgos, please. Okay. I need a reversal for my Virgos, please. One reversal for my Virgos. Wait, hold on, let me just, felt like that wasn't the right one. Okay, Ace of Wands. And I need your recommendations for my Virgos. What is recommended for my Virgos? And you got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so first up, in your recent past position, you have the Three of Swords. So I think you're coming off as something that you felt was a heartbreak, or you had some bad news, or you might just be feeling really, really down. So I think there's some kind of emotional upsetness, emotional kind of turmoil going on for you. And then in your current position, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So he's very diligent. He makes slow progress, but he's determined to get where he wants to go. But he takes his next step carefully. So I think you're kind of coming out of, in a sense, this kind of energy of like feeling helpless in a sense, because sometimes when I get the Three of Swords, it's during times that I feel so helpless. I'm so in my head, I'm so upset something happened, I'm just like fixated on it and I can't really move forward. And then the Knight of Pentacles is like, well, you're not rushing ahead, you're trying to make sure that you're doing it correctly and you're taking the next steps very strategically in a sense, but slowly. And then in your near future position, you have the Chariot. Now this card is all about kind of going into almost like, I don't want to say going into a new territory. You're like not quite in your comfort zone, but you're moving forward. You might not entirely know exactly how it's going to turn out. You're probably going to hit some obstacles along the way, but you're going to actually get through it and you're going to get to your destination. So that's what the Chariot is. Now the Ace of Wands can indicate, because you have this in your reverse challenging position, this can indicate kind of setbacks and almost like lack of determination a little bit. Maybe not really taking the action that you need to get to where you need to go, but I feel like some of the setbacks could be from the Three of Swords, as kind of mental and emotional kind of unhappiness and just feeling of like helplessness in a sense. So you might be wanting, and because the Knight of Pentacles, he's so like slow moving and he's so very doesn't want to make a mistake. This, in a way, could kind of lead you into this. You have to watch out not to just be so, trying to be so, how do I want to say this? You need to watch that you're not being so careful that you're getting stuck again, you know? Because I think you're going to be moving forward. I think you're moving on to whatever you're doing, but I think you need to not let yourself get into a realm of like feeling like you can't do it or not doing it out of fear or anything. So the Wheel of Fortune is about kind of unexpected events. Like the wheel is always turning. So you can be coming into some kind of luck. This could be something that's more like your destiny in a sense. So I think there's going to be some luck, but sometimes I get the Wheel of Fortune and it is something, I always get it when it's days where almost like a disaster has happened in a sense at work or whatever, and then like somehow I got like a lucky break through that disaster. So it was like an oncoming disaster and you could see it on me like, oh my God, this is about to really suck. And then all of a sudden somehow by sheer luck, it works out and works out great. So I feel like even though if you are getting like a little bit of a setback or something's happening, I think this what is recommended for you, because this is just in your recommended positions. I think this is saying that, listen, you're going to be okay. Just keep pushing on with it, because the Chariot is a card about moving forward. So just keep moving forward on your trajectory, your predetermined trajectory or whatever. And like, it's going to work out. Even if you're kind of coming up against an obstacle or something's looking a little like shifty and shady, you're like, oh God, how is this going to work? It's going to actually work out in your favor. So you just have to keep kind of trudging through it though. So, okay guys, let's see what else we get for you. I need one card for my Virgos, please. One card for my Virgos. You have Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. And I need another card for my Virgos, please. One more card for my Virgos. Okay, you have Garnet, ignite your passion. And then new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. And, oh, let me just redo that. I feel like that wasn't quite right. Okay, these two came out. Okay, karmatic relationship, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go and loving you, and the chaser in codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. Now, okay, so let's smush this together. I think this Panther Spirit, you're reclaiming your power. I definitely think you were kind of shaken with the Three of Swords. I think there was something that really kind of threw you through a loop or whatever. But the Knight of Pentacles is kind of getting back on track, and I think the Chariot is about moving forward regardless of the obstacles, and I do think you might kind of have some like little like bumps in the road coming up, but because the Ace of Wands is a little bumps in the road, and the Wheel of Fortune could be about bumps in the road too, but this is about kind of luck and things kind of working out somehow smoothly, even though you don't know how it's going to work out smoothly, somehow it just works out. And this is saying you need to reclaim your power. I think you need to have a comeback from this Three of Swords, and I think you're doing that. And the ignite your passion is, maybe this is, whatever this is, it was like a blow to you for some reason. And it could kind of been unexpected. So this could really be, for instance, I handed in an essay I've been working on, and it was like graded same day. And usually they don't get graded for a few days, but it was graded same day, and it said 0. And I'm like, I worked on this thing, and I'm like, how the hell did I get a 0? And the way the school is, the classes close. As soon as you hand in the last big paper, like the class closes. So, and I thought, well, maybe there was a mistake. Maybe it'll update. So for like 2 weeks, because I had to work on a last really big paper, so I was trying not to think about that, even though it was like messing with my mind. It was really upsetting to me. Because it brought my average from an A in the class to a D, and I was like, a D? So I was so upset, but I thought maybe it's gonna update, because it was just really weird. So, because I'm like, there's no way I could have gotten a 0, at least, you know. But anyway, so it turns out I had to email the school finally, because I handed in the last paper, because part of me was like, I need to just focus on one thing at a time. Let me hand in this really big last paper, last paper, and then let me kind of email the school about like what's going on with that. So, and I was stressed. I was stressed for weeks about this. This really threw me through a real loop, and I should have just emailed them right away. But for me, it was like almost, it was so upsetting to me, the thought that I could have gotten a 0 on a paper that I worked on. It was just, it shook me. And I finally emailed them. It turns out the teacher forgot to enter a grade, so I'm waiting to see what grade I get. But they said that the teacher's notes, everything looked good on the paper, everything was fine, because I couldn't even see the teacher's notes because the class had closed. And they said, oh yeah, it looks like they just didn't enter a grade. So for all the last 3 weeks, I have been in turmoil, mental turmoil about this damn paper, because I'm almost finished with graduating with this thing. And this is like, I'm in the last little bit of it. And I should have just emailed right from the get-go. But what I'm saying here is this heartbreak could have been something that you are passionate about, and you just kind of got sucker punched in a way with something, and it could have left you a little bit like shaken, where now you're picking yourself up with the Knight of Pentacles. You're like, no, I'm going to go forward with this. I'm not going to let this defeat me. And the Chariot would represent you're moving forward. But the Ace of Wands is about like maybe there's still certain kind of obstacles that you have to go through. So this is saying, I think this is saying continue on with whatever you're passionate about, whatever you were doing that you're really upset, like keep moving forward. So a new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Now, this could be obviously a new person or a love, or this could be something from the Three of Swords experience has kind of ignited that spark again of the Knight of Pentacles to kind of make you realize, no, whatever I'm upset about, I want to continue to do, or I can't just stay in this Three of Pentacles mindset. I need to move forward. So something kind of gave you your little fire back a little bit, even if it's a little ember of a flame. You kind of have that little ember back. So that's fantastic. Now, the Chaser and codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. Now, I'm wondering if some of you, this Three of Swords moment, because this is kind of about your mind, I wonder if some of you realize that a relationship is no good, but sometimes we could be codependent to things as well. Like we can kind of, you could have a project or something that you're doing that you're almost, how do I want to say this? Your personal worth almost is tied to that. So how well you are of a person gets tied to how well, like I do that with school. Like it's almost like if I do good, I feel like I'm doing good in life. But if I don't, if I kind of have a B or something, it freaks me out. So it's like, so you can imagine how getting a 0 really like messed with me. So it was terrible. It was like a nightmare. But what I'm saying here is you could be kind of tying your self-worth into something that shouldn't really validate yourself or give you I don't think I'm making any sense. I'm sorry. Don't be dependent on the way you feel about yourself through something else, and this could be that maybe you were chasing somebody and they're really not, they broke your heart, they're not that great. And karmatic relationship here, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resistance, lessons, letting go and loving you. I feel like this Three of Swords, it could be also something that you need to let go of, and you're realizing that with the Knight of Pentacles, and you're kind of moving forward. And also kind of the turmoil a little bit. I feel like that's definitely with the Three of Pentacles, and I think with the Ace of Wands that maybe a few bumps in the road is kind of giving you that turmoil-ish experience as well. But Wheel of Fortune being here means just... I feel like this is trying to say, just act like everything's fine. Just in your head, tell yourself everything's going to be okay, and it's going to be okay. Because I think this is what it's saying, that you need to come out of this funk and just pretend like everything is fine, even if there's like fires and destructions around you. Just be like, you know what? It's a great day. It's a great day. Everything is fine. There's nothing to see here. So I think you just got to act as there's no problems and everything's going to go okay. Now, let's see what kind of inspirational quote we get for you guys, Virgos. Let's see my Virgos, inspiration for my Virgos. Okay. Adjust your sails when the wind doesn't blow your way. See, this is saying just act as if everything is fine. So if things are not going quite right, focus on what's going what's going well, and just adjust it. Adjust your mindset too. I think you just need to kind of come out of this funk and just be like, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Okay, let's see what Spirit of the Dish is going to be with you in the upcoming week. What Spirit of ooh, you got the Holy One. So you have the Spirit of the Bagel and the Cream Cheese. So there we go. Or whatever spread you prefer on your bagel. Now, let's do this. Okay, so your dinner and a movie that is recommended for you for the universe for the week of the 1st through the 7th is drama, movies, and barbecue. And some of you, maybe a little drama is why you had this Three of Swords, so you might as well just revel in it. You might as well watch some dramatic movie where you're like, oh my God, at least it's not as bad as my situation or whatever, however that goes for you. Okay, so you also have Capricorn here, and Capricorns, they are about restrictions, responsibilities, responsibilities and life lessons. This could be somebody you're dealing with as well. And then you also have Scorpio, and Scorpio is about transformation and major changes. You have Uranus here, and he's about independence and being kind of a little eccentric. And then you have Venus, and this is all about love, you know, being attractive and kind of, it could be about money as well. It's just kind of being in that like element of like sexiness in a sense. So you have the 4th house, which is about home, intuition, parenting, and children. And then you also have the 8th house here, which is about change, transformation. It could be about financial debts and secrets, and it could be about sex as well. So let me see. Let's get this little guy too. Okay, so we have E, G, D, R, E, A, P, F, and H. Okay, you got no numbers. And then, what do we have over here? These two stuck into my hand. So you have happiness and kindness. So maybe you need to be a little kind to yourself, because I feel like maybe you're feeling a little down. And this could be indicates that you're trying to chase your happiness right now, or you have to do something to make yourself happy to shift out of that energy. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to do as well. So now we have these little charms. Let me, I'm not very good at the charms, but you know, I'm working on it. Okay, so you have the little flower. So to me, flowers represent, like a plant did a lot of work to make the flower. I think making a flower for a plant is actually a lot of energy for them. So I think, but they're diligent about it. They're like going to put all their energy into this one beautiful flower, and then it flowers for I don't know how long, and then it dies. And it's trying to reproduce. So this could just be that you're putting all your energy into one thing, and maybe it's not quite going as well. So flowers obviously could represent something else to you, and you might think of something else that the flower could mean. But maybe this is saying, I don't want to say don't put all your eggs into one basket, because I do think that you should be putting your energy into this. But I think this is saying that in the end, it will become a flower, even though it doesn't quite look like a flower. Because when the flowers do their thing, you know, they have like a weird stem or something. It kind of looks a little weird. You don't really know what's going on. And then it turns into this beautiful thing. But it takes time. So I think whatever you're doing is taking a little bit of time. Maybe there's a few bumps in the road, and you just have to kind of stay with it, stay on the course, stay on track, and you're going to get it done. So I think that's great, Virgos. Okay, now it's time. Think of your question for the Magic 8 Ball, and here we go. Oh, mystical magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Virgo's question? It says yes. There you guys go. I hope it was a good answer, an answer that you guys want. So there you go. The 8 Ball has spoken. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.